champion Ronnie O'Sullivan takes on former world champion Neil Robertson. It's the best of 11 frames for a place in Sunday's Champion of Champions final. And I'm joined in the studio by Neil Foulds and Stephen Hendry. Looking forward to another fantastic match. I mean, we were spoiled yesterday, and as were the crowd here in the Rico. A big sellout yesterday. I suspect a sellout again tonight for this one.
Yeah, great day yesterday. Obviously, seeing Jimmy whirlwind white, we don't often see it in this kind of venue. Ronnie last night was just, it went from the sublime to the ridiculous, some of the stuff he was pulling off last night. But it was just wonderful. I mean, 12 seconds a shot at one stage, it was just ridiculous.
He was rapid, wasn't he, around the table?
Yeah, I mean, just when you don't know what he's going to play like, because I wasn't sure, because he hadn't played all that well against Jimmy. He's very subdued early on. He got over the line, but that was about it, really. And then in the evening, I think he thought, I'm going to go a different way about this. I'm just going to go and try and pot everything. And most people would struggle with that, wouldn't they? But, you know, Ronnie's not like anybody else. Some of the shots in this little compilation are unbelievable, Stephen. I
mean, it was almost like he was just playing an exhibition last night, and I think he came in and basically told us that's how he was treating it. He was just going to enjoy it. He was just going to go for his shots. It was just incredible, and I think for tonight's match, it's important for Neil just to concentrate on his own game. I mean, this is how he finished off the match, Neil. It's just unbelievable.
I actually think the next shot is one of the best shots I've ever seen in the important stage of a match. Exhibition shots is one thing. You cannot go for this pink and get on the red. You just can't play the shot. I don't think there's another player on the tour, not a sane player on the tour, that would have gone for this, put it that way. I mean, I don't know what I'm thinking about that isn't sane. I'm just thinking that to me cannot be the shot. He got it, and it's an astonishing.
And we could equally have shown the red down the cushion, but I mean, that's just run-of-the-mill these days.
Left-handed, screwed the red in for the blue and cleared up and won the match. John Higgins was sat in his chair, just bemused, I think. I think when he left the table, he thought he was going to get another shot. He didn't. But yeah, it's important, I think, for Neil Robertson tonight. He's got to concentrate on his own game, because it's very easy to be sat in your chair and get hypnotised by that kind of brilliance. And then you come to the table and your head's gone. You're not concentrating. So that's the important thing for Neil tonight.
And I mean, they've played each other plenty, these two. You know, Ronnie's got the better of the head-to-head. I think 24, 25 times they've played each other. Most recently, we've seen them play in the Coral Series, a couple of finals, and Ronnie has had the better of Neil. Yeah,
and he beat him in the final of the 2 consecutive events, like you say. The second leg, the players up in Preston, that was when he made that 1000th century to an amazed crowd, really. And then he beat him also in the Tour Championship. Ronnie beat him in Shanghai as well this season when he won that. Interestingly, I found a little stat. Ronnie started his matches very badly. Since that semi-final, he's lost the first frame in each of his 8 matches since O'Sullivan. That's unusual. He keeps getting beat early on and then coming good late.
Well, you know, you had 3 frames down to Jimmy White yesterday. But as the day went on, he just seemed to... Well, he picked the pace up for sure, but he certainly improved as the day went on.
Yeah, I mean, it's well known how much respect he's got for John Higgins as an opponent, as a rival. He probably respects him more than anyone in the game, and I think that's why he was more up for it last night. Perhaps when people are having their dinner by the side of the table.
It's kind of weird. That's the players' practice room, and there are people sitting up for dinner.
Well, it gets changed at the weekend, doesn't it? It's a more corporate thing. And I would say that Ronnie, probably like Stephen, it wouldn't be all that keen on that. Human beings in the same room as him. But I can't speak for him. But, you know, he likes a bit of privacy when he's practising. But at the moment, I don't quite know what to expect with Ronnie. I don't, in my heart, believe he's playing at the top of his game. But such a remarkable player is he, that he was able to do what he did last night, really.
Yeah, we don't get tablecloths, do we?
Nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Right. The man tasked with stopping Ronnie tonight is Neil Robertson. He's been talking to Phil Yates.
Neil, a semi-final of a Champion of Champions is always a big deal, especially against Ronnie.
Yeah, it is. I think the last couple of times we've played, they've been very milestone moments for him. The final in Preston, where he, probably played the best snooker I've ever seen. Capturing the 1000 centuries to top that off, and then the next final we played, which was a lot closer, 13-11. I think that was the ranking title which matched Stephen Hendry's record. So hopefully tonight, no more milestones to be done from him, and hopefully it'll be more about me and myself trying to play well. He's obviously got the better of me the last few times I've played. Very big matches, semi-finals and finals, and this is another semi-final.
Am I right in saying that it's very important for you to not allow him to dictate the pace? Because last night he played very, very quickly, and it seemed as though John was a little sucked in.
I watched a bit of that match in the car on the way up here last night, and it was very interesting that the pace Ronnie was playing at John was almost forced to try and keep up with him with the pace. I think John actually plays a lot better when he does quicken up. But John also has it in his locker to play really good grinding match play snooker as well. And I probably fall under that kind of category where I can slow things down a little bit and play at that pace. It doesn't suit me to. I prefer to play kind of like the in-between pace of like a Judd Ronnie and like a John Higgins. I think Ronnie was at sort of around 14 seconds a shot, whereas I'm most comfortable at 19, 20. So you got no choice when you play Ronnie. If he's playing that quick, if he chooses to tonight, I much more enjoy those kind of matches as compared to like a grindy sort of slow frames, a lot of tactical stuff. So either way, you get to enjoy the experience, and you sort of releases the shackles, I suppose, where you can sort of, all right, let's take each other on here and create a bit of an exhibition type atmosphere, and sometimes they can create the best matches.
Interesting to hear Neil Robertson there. You're laughing at him because he gives him a lot of respect, doesn't he?
It does. Well, I'm just thinking, sorry to go back to these people having their dinner, but I'm sure everyone in this audience would kill to be that close to Ronnie O'Sullivan practicing. They're just eating their food, they don't care. They've got Ronnie O'Sullivan practicing next to them.
Correct. Look at them all rushing for their food. Listen, let's talk about Neil Robertson, how best he's going to take on Ronnie tonight, because if you let Ronnie dictate the tempo of this match, like he did last night against John Higgins, it's not going to work well for him, is it?
Absolutely. He's got to play at his own pace, he's got to play his own game, and that's what I said earlier. He's got to try and block out exactly what's going on when Ronnie's at the table. I mean, it's not a bad tip just to not even watch the table. Try and concentrate and focus on something else. So when you get to the table, it's all about you. But all Neil can do is, when he's presented with chances, take them. That's all he can do tonight. Is when he gets a chance to get in, score heavily, and that's the only way he'll put pressure on O'Sullivan. Interesting that
he said he's watching it in the car on the way up. So he does watch other players. I mean, really, he must know what to expect from O'Sullivan or Higgins, whoever won that match. And then he spoke about maybe slowing the game down. I don't think he wants to go down that road. I'm not saying he wasn't actually saying he was going to do it, but he did mention that he might. I think, as Stephen says, concentrate on your own game, and he's a better player when he's playing fluently.
He also said, let's make it an exhibition, which is a lovely idea. We'd all love to see that, but it's a dangerous game to start trying to play.
No. I don't think anyone can compete with Ronnie. If it turns into that sort of match, I don't think anyone can compete. Maybe Judd, but I don't think Neil can. I think Neil's got to play his own game tonight.
Can Ronnie play any faster than he was playing last night? I hope he was kind of joking when he was thinking he was going to get his shot time down to 10 seconds.
I don't even know why he wants to think that way, to be honest. I've no idea. I don't think he can play 10 seconds a shot for any length of time. And I would
possible. The referee's not got time to put the balls
in. The referee would be having a nightmare. I don't even know who is officiating tonight, but whoever it is going to have to be on their toes. Maybe have two referees, one on each side.
Feel like the shootout. Well, let's hope not. Right. Coming back after the break, we will have the first of our semi-finals in the Champion of Champions. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan taking on Neil Robertson, where we have a cracking semi-final for you as the Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan takes on former world champion Neil Robertson for a place in Sunday's final. It's time to get the action underway. David Hendon and Alan McManus are raring to go in the commentary box, but first it's over to our MC, Phil Seymour.
Thanks, Jill. Good evening and a very warm welcome to the ManBet X Champion of Champions, brought to you by Matchroom Multisport here at the Ricoh Arena in Coventry. This is semi-final number one. It's the best of 11 frames, and it's time now to welcome the players. We begin with the reigning China and Welsh Open champion, a winner here in 2015. He's the 2010 champion of the world, the Thunder from Down Under, Neil Robertson! opponent, the winner of a record-equaling 36 career ranking events, including 5 World Championships. He's a 3-time winner here, the reigning and defending champion of champions, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And then there were 4, and each of the remaining semi-finalists here in Coventry is an authentic title challenger. Ronnie O'Sullivan has appeared in the final of this competition on each of the 5 times he's played in it. The only time he wasn't here, the winner was Neil Robertson.
The first frame, Neil Robertson to break.
The Rico is rocking. You heard the ovations they had as they came in. Promises to be a fantastic night of snooker. Neil Robertson to get us underway. It's best of 11. As ever, the question, what sort of Ronnie O'Sullivan are we going to get? Last night, he was playing at breakneck speed. He was potting everything like an exhibition. It worked against John Higgins. And he's already in.
One.
Table Allen has been recovered, hasn't it? And you can see it's quick.
Yeah, that looked like stopping for yellow or brown. Oh, no messing. Long blue. Oh, okay. Oh. 2 shots of
6.
Pure quality. Almost as if last night
7.
his way of gaining control was to just let go. O'Sullivan, as David said, we'll find out in the early stages what sort of mood he's in, what sort of tempo he's going to be playing at.
Well, the head-to-head certainly favours him. 17 wins against 7, and O'Sullivan's won the last 5 between them.
14.
Including, of course, those 2 finals in the Coral Series last season. Well, that's finished okay. He's on the red to the middle.
19.
Packed in here this evening, great anticipation. He's taking this one, is he to the corner? Well, he's in 2 minds. He's had a look at them both, it's going to be in the middle after all.
$20. $25. 26.
Don't have to tell you the intent. This next shot. Oh, look at the work in the cue ball. Got one to right middle or the far corner.
33.
Just be a wee bit concerned about the red by the left middle. Just have a look at it. That's a concern. Just puts a bit extra pressure on the pot. The awkward bridging over that black and red too.
34.
Well, it's like he's just picked up from last night. Like that match has just continued. Some of the balls he potted at the end against Higgins are just unbelievable for a big match.
$38. $39.
As well. Landed the cue ball exactly where he wanted it, and now he's
41.
got them exactly where he wants them.
42.
Well, Neil Robertson has broken off. It may be his only shot in this frame.
$49. $50.
This is what you call hitting the ground running, isn't it? Just superb.
57. $58.
Have a
65.
glance at the scoreboard. He needs a red here, and Robertson needs snookers. I think someone might just have slightly moved in his eye line. Well, that's twice he's been down, third time. This is frame ball, remember. It wriggles in.
$66. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 66.
And that's treating Neil Robertson with every respect, putting him in the snooker, not taking liberties. 2 snookers needed, but Robertson's in one. Yeah, he was in trouble, and he will have played 2 shots in this frame. O'Sullivan knocked in the long red from his first shot, made 66, and there'll be no way back from here.
$7.
It's an early moment though, wasn't there, when he took that blue on? Didn't have to go for it, but that's the way he was playing last night, and obviously it's the way he's going to approach it
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
tonight. Meanwhile, he's owned
Neil
up to a
Robertson,
foul.
7. Frame conceded, frame
But
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
the damage has been done already. So that opening frame took just under 8 minutes. Ronnie O'Sullivan off and running here in Coventry in the first semi-final. He's leading Neil Robertson 1. Or Mark Allen there up tomorrow night. Well, they were playing David Bowie's Rebel Rebel between frames. Couldn't pick a better song really for Ronnie O'Sullivan, could you? He does things his own way, but we've seen already tonight he's in excellent form. Of course, could very easily have gone out to Jimmy White yesterday afternoon. White was 3-0 up, he had chances, but didn't finish him off, and O'Sullivan grew stronger in the evening against John Higgins.
almost identical red, wasn't it, to the one that Neil left Ronnie in frame 1. That's something to keep an eye on. The match progresses tonight. 2 out of 2 then. Ronnie, as we know, slotted in the long blue. Neil just tucking him in. Good choice that, because of the 5 loose reds. It's not going to be easy to drop in a bunch of reds and not leave anything. This is tough. This is going to be tricky.
I guess as well, he doesn't want to think, well, if he's going for everything, I'm going to have to go for everything. He'll feel I've got to play my game, regardless of how O'Sullivan's playing. He's played the percentage shot.
Yeah, the slide did for him there. Brand new cloth, as David mentioned. It just slid a bit more south than it perhaps would have done last night. So, first half chance for Neil. Helps that he's left-handed, of course, and about 6'3".
One.
Yeah, it feels like a long time since we've seen him. Of course, he played on the opening day. Beat Martin Gould 4-0 and then all seemed to be chasing the match with Sean Murphy, but beat him 6-5 in the end.
Yeah, both players have been 3-0 down in this event, haven't they? Yeah, found the goods when required.
Well, Paul Collier just having to get this pink into position before we can continue.
7.
Last time he beat O'Sullivan was in the final of the Hong Kong Masters 2 years ago. Played in front of around
8.
3,000 people. It was a huge arena. He said it was one of the highlights of his whole career. There's plenty in tonight as well here in Coventry.
Yeah, thunderous kick.
Yeah, sure.
See it again here, you see the cue ball jump and the black. Oh, great pot. Now, how's the speed? Yeah, I can forgive him that. That was easy. Easy done just to lose the cue ball into bulk. So red doesn't go. It's just off straight, but I don't think he can go, even the power Neil Robertson, I don't think he can go 2 cushions and get any reds moving, so just the tuck in.
Neil Robertson, 16.
Playing the cue ball wide, trying to just invite Ronnie to open up a few reds. Let's see. He's digging down on it, suggests to me he's going to try and catch this wafer thin. See? Oh, he got it a little thick, but good cue ball. Always dangerous, especially at this level. Not quite sure where the reds are going to finish. that Ronnie won the first frame. One hit. A wee bit more pressure on this. Oh, what a pot.
One.
Lucky he just didn't get the grip on it, but main thing, he got the pot. I think imagine he would play a bulk colour here because he would have 2 attempts. I think in those 2 attempts he would
Neil Robertson,
have
1.
made contact with one of them. He's played a clever little shot. No return to bulk for Ronnie.
Touching ball.
Well, there is now with a touching ball, of course. He wants to block the line for Neil Robertson to go side cushion and rest on that red, but I don't know if he's got it. Pressure in this too. Bound to leave a red. Should they miss it?
One.
I think he's just weighing up whether he wants to take the risk of moving that red on by the black. See, the pink's in the open, but I think the pink would go in its spot and that would then be tied up, so that's why he's chipped the red. Just about cut this red back into left middle.
8.
Oh, he's got a plant. That's lucky because he knew nothing about it.
Well, Robertson didn't get too close. It's got to be said to the long red he attempted. As Alan said,
12.
there was pressure on it. He was going to be leaving something. And I'll be wondering if it's end of
13.
frame. Remember, O'Sullivan made 66 in the opener to get to the snooker's required stage.
$18. 19.
I know Ronnie's got a lot of respect for Neil, and in a way that's bad news for the Aussie, because he's just taking his time here. He's making sure of these.
24. 25. 30.
Definitely not playing as quickly as he was last evening. Part of the wisdom of O'Sullivan, the snooker wisdom. Full of surprises.
31.
Yeah, it was a very emotional day all round yesterday, wasn't it? He was playing his great pal Jimmy White, then someone he really respects, John Higgins. But it's been a day to think about
33.
things between then, and he's in sight of another big final, another big check. Potential for the 150,000 on Sunday.
34.
He'll never be slow, but he's slowed down a little based on last night.
39.
Yeah, 19 and 16 is 35, so he's going to need all three reds.
40.
Sorry, my mistake, was 21 in front. Where's the pink?
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan 40. Neil Robertson 7.
Could that be a turning point? All set for 2-0.
Well, it's only frame 2, but you just feel Robertson's got to take this chance. The way O'Sullivan's playing, he might not get that many. This is definitely one.
That's absolutely perfect. The good thing about it, you can just
7.
roll the red in at a nice soft pace. Automatically a nice low black off it.
8.
Yellow to blue needed. O'Sullivan was looking good, cannon the pink out of the way, but
15.
unfortunately for him into the middle pocket.
17.
But for that, could well have been 2-0.
This is why as well that part of a snooker player's armoury has to be concentration even while you're in the chair. I say it looked like 2-0,
20.
but you've got to concentrate and be prepared even for the unexpected chance that has presented itself here. And he's taken these nicely.
24.
Yeah, just had to pop these, didn't he? Very important visit for Neil Robertson. An unexpected chance has come his way,
29.
and he's made the most of it. This was the ball that did for O'Sullivan, the pink dropping in the middle.
35. Neil Robertson 42.
Neil Robertson has done what he had to do, step in, make the clearance and win the frame. So the first semi-final is all square, Ronnie O'Sullivan and Neil Robertson, one apiece. Eventful start, and it's one apiece between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Neil Robertson. Robertson pouncing when O'Sullivan
Thank you.
knocked
Frame
the pink
3.
in
Neil Robertson to break.
in that last frame inadvertently.
Mentioned that break off earlier. Neil has switched sides, going from the green side of the table, and this looks much better. Yeah, he's interested in the one just adjacent to the blue because there's no reds to left corner from that side. better percentage type of shot. You'd think the only red he could leave is this, the one he's trying to knock in. Well, he potted the red not dissimilar last night towards the end against John, didn't he? But the other red was safe as he took it on. This is dangerous. Fantastic at that shot, O'Sullivan. He actually plays those shots with a trace of helping or run inside. The theory behind that is he's just trying to make sure that it's almost impossible to catch it thick. He wouldn't have minded missing it for the sighter, but that was perfect. Player of Neil's class. Yellow and brown is a big target. He's got help from the yellow. Still queuing, removing the danger of that red by potting it. Just thinking back to the two Coral Series finals where they played, O'Sullivan was certainly in match play mode, all round brilliant scoring, but also the tactical play.
Like
two long matches, a best of 19 and a best of 25 to beat Robertson in those two finals last season.
Sneaky.
Neil Robertson
by Neil,
won.
leaving the black there. Yeah, got to dig that shot. Giving Ronnie a bit of a problem. Half ball contact, he could get between the black and pocket. Oh, tremendous. Actually looks like the same shot again, but watch the red. There's a chance it could chase back up towards the blue. Up it comes. Cue ball goes in. Has he left it?
Neil Robertson 4.
Not this time.
The thing about those, you fancy him to get them. That's how good he is from long distance. 4 out of 6 for long potting so far. He's very hard to intimidate, Neil Robertson, and Ronnie O'Sullivan, let's be honest, can be very intimidating. But Robertson, the fine match player in his own right.
Yeah, that shot. The cause of that is just a brand new cloth. Cushions playing a little bit softer. They don't spring, and the fact he was using 2 cushions takes a little bit of energy out the cue ball. Just sink into the second one and doesn't spring off, no pace in it.
Breathe in. Oh dear, did not want that. Did not want that.
Neil Robertson 3.
Well, that all went wrong rather suddenly. But O'Sullivan unable to take advantage.
He's eyeballing the cannon, the red left of the black. Yeah, percentage-wise, he's highly unlikely to get on the black. If you like, it's the kind of money shot, but odds against, if I think they're pulling it off. Well, that'll do nicely. That was not as played if he's on it. No, not quite.
Very nearly. But
Yellow.
it's back down to the long grass.
Neil Robertson 1.
But tonight, this feels like a match. It doesn't feel like an exhibition. This feels like a proper snooker match between 2 proper snooker players. Both giving the other every respect.
Shot to nothing on here. As long as he doesn't miss it thin, he won't contact the reds, but the right middle pocket could play a part in this shot. Yeah, got it thick. He probably erred on the thick side. Good choice, that.
One.
Well, it looks like he's been a bit unlucky here. As you can see, this pink to the middle. I'm told there's been as many safety shots already tonight as there was in the entire match last night against John Higgins. Pink to the corner, maybe. Not to be, though, and there was pressure on it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Robertson was a little fortunate, the red over the middle, that he left the cue ball in the one place where Ronnie O'Sullivan couldn't pot it. Took on the more difficult one, didn't have as much control over the cue ball, has now missed the pink.
One.
The only thing with taking the black here is it could go wrong because he's going to have to trust to just a little bit of luck as far as the next red's concerned. Doesn't want to be messing with the cannon, the two reds, I don't think. Just pot it on the thin side.
He's just tucking his waistcoat in, he's concerned about that brown. The green as well, under his sleeve. Paul Carlo keeping watch.
Yeah, didn't want to be messing with that cannon. As I said, that could... I wasn't certain where I was going to finish. Now he's put himself under some self-inflicted pressure. Couple of reds to go at, both difficult. Black, I don't think, is on to either corner. Fabulous shot.
9.
The technique there was just superb. See, the beauty of it was he went really high on the cue ball. Look at the height, yeah, see the cue? Right on the top of the cue ball, which means he could hit it with less pace and get the same spin. Get up for blue or bulk colour.
$14. $15.
Well, we may well have seen a big moment with O'Sullivan knocking that pink in inadvertently in frame 2. He was in control, he was looking confident, looking good for 2-0. But things have turned round since then. Robertson made the clearance and now he's looking the more confident of the two.
$20.
The thing is, though, you can have more than one turning point. Neil Robertson knows that. So now that he's in, he'll be determined to make the most of this chance.
Interesting technical thing Neil Robertson does. When he plays
26.
a punch shot, his left elbow stays proud through the shot. See that? When Ronnie plays that type of shot,
27.
his elbow falls to the floor. It's not so much in these little shots in amongst them. When he plays a long red, you would see it. Just his left elbow, it stays nice and high. Deep screw through the gap, key to the frame. Great shot.
33. $40. $41.
Black and one more red needed then for 2-1. It was that ball again, wasn't it? The pink for O'Sullivan. This time he took it on to the yellow pocket. Didn't pot it. There was a red waiting over
48.
the right middle.
49.
And once again, Neil Robertson has done what he had to do, which is stay in and make enough to win the frame, which is what he should have done by now.
$56.
He
$57.
loves a century. Neil Robertson, 84 last season, was more than anyone else. Of course, in the 2013-14 season, he made 103, first man and so far only man to make 100 plus in a single campaign. He's had 17 this season, although of course there's been several
62.
tournaments he's either not got to for various reasons or had to pull out of. He's not made one here because the red has stayed out.
Neil Robertson 62 and the
But
frame.
it's a solid 62, just what he was looking for, making the most of the chance when it came along. And Neil Robertson has taken the lead. It's 2-1. Friday night in Coventry, it's the first semi-final of the Champion of Champions, and Neil Robertson has won the last two frames. This is the last before the interval. He's 2-1 up.
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
And things definitely turn round in that second frame when O'Sullivan accidentally knocked the pink in.
Yeah, Neil switched sides in the last frame. The break off, Ronnie stays the same, and he's made another mistake. Will he pay for it?
One.
It was a brilliant shot, but it was also something else. It was a statement of intent. That
6.
no holding back. Look at this shot.
You've got to take the game to Ronnie O'Sullivan. You've got to try and intimidate him like he intimidates so many others. But not everyone can do that. Meantime, they've got to get rid of this fly. As we look at the pot success, Robertson's gone in front by 4%. Not sure we'll be seeing that fly again.
Seven.
That's a bad error. Yeah, he'd done all the hard work. Good initial red, stunning blue. Yeah, here it is again. Just didn't deliver properly. He actually came up off the shot a little quickly, I feel.
Neil Robertson, 7.
Understandably annoyed, Robertson, because he knows he's on top at the moment. Starting to play really well, but stopped in his tracks there.
Looks like he's going to send the red towards the pack and use green. He's elected on brown, but it's going to be difficult to get total cover behind the brown with the width of the reds and left one sticking out. Fancy him for this, the fact that he can play it just plain ball. Well, decided to go deep.
1.
A great pot. The only good thing, it looks like the blue, the cannon on the red would probably send the red towards the left corner. That's what it looks like. Ronnie will know better. It does look that way. Yeah, brilliant shot.
Six. Seven. $14. 15.
Played that beautifully. Is he going in? Yes. Yeah, I think he might just be all right. The outside red.
22. $23. $28. 29.
Watch Ronnie's right elbow. See? Disappears. Is it different to Neil?
36.
Might perhaps see it here. Not going to be hitting this hard, but See his right elbow just drop. See that?
37. $42. $43.
There you go, that tells the story, doesn't it? 19 seconds back to what you would call a sort of normal O'Sullivan speed.
Yeah, that's about where you'd expect both of these guys to be, actually. But Ronnie O'Sullivan here has got himself bang into position to make it 2-2 and really set it up nicely for the second half of the evening.
51.
Lovely little cannon to stay on this red to the right corner. Yeah, he's treating Neil Robertson with every respect. It's a great matchup, this.
58.
They've only been going 51
59.
minutes. And O'Sullivan closing in on 2-2. So he's just doing the maths himself,
66.
and it'll tell him that this is frame ball for 2 each at the interval.
$67.
Well, not for nothing is it called the Champion of Champions. We've got the best in the world here, with the two left-handers, Judd Trump and Mark Allen, to come tomorrow night. We're guaranteed a great final, whoever comes through. Robertson,
73.
having lost the first frame, won the next 2, was looking good, but Ronnie O'Sullivan
74.
has put together a very good break here. He's really focusing hard tonight. A day's a long time in the life of Ronnie O'Sullivan. You're never quite sure how he's going to
81.
feel. But he's got his business head on this evening. He's missed that, so no
Ronnie
century, but an
O'Sullivan,
81.
81 on the frame.
A really interesting start to the first semi-final here in Coventry, and it's nicely poised. The players all square at 2 frames apiece.
Very high quality. Completely different match, it feels like, to last night. Last night kind of felt like an exhibition. The speed that Ronnie was playing, he's about 5-6 seconds a shot slower than last night. I think that we're going to see in a little while the second frame when he cannoned the pink in the middle pocket. But for that, I think he was possibly ready to take off, and it could have been a completely different scoreline.
He looks really focused tonight, doesn't he?
Ronnie, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that was a big moment where, you know, he looked like going 2-0 up. In a way, I think Ronnie did well to get back to 2-2 because just slightly lost his way after that. But Neil has played well also, you know. And you know, this was a great start because he knocked in this was his first visit to the table, knocked in long red. You know, this is never going to be an easy shot, and it's very attacking. It's all out, and we thought we were going to see a continuation of how yesterday ended, really. But it wasn't. It was authentic snooker, wasn't it, Stephen?
Yeah, it's quite a tough match. This is a tough match snooker. This is a fantastic shot, I think. I mean, I think you could play that another 20 times and not be on the black. The cannon was just an amazing shot.
Yeah, this was the moment when Ronnie looked like he would go 2-0 up. He hadn't really missed anything.
Wow.
And then, of course, he knocks the pink in. He's unlucky. You know, he played a good big cannon there, and of course, it cost him the frame.
That was a good clearance Neil made there. I think if he didn't make that clearance, he could have well gone on to, you know, a hammering really in this match, to be honest. And then he's doing there what Neil does, is these long shots with deep screw.
Yeah, just run on through, got through onto the black, into the same pocket there. And yeah, at this point, it was all Robertson. And this is where things turned again. He didn't make as many here. You like this shot because I think it fizzed off the second cushion, didn't it?
Yeah, it's still got some check side on it. You see the cue ball here, it goes down a little bit towards the reds, but then he played a poor shot in the red after it. This was a lovely shot because look at the gap the cue ball's got to find around the back of that red. to get back up to the ball. Beautiful shot.
He plays a cannon in a minute, I think we're going to see, which was a delightful cannon that if you're a snooker person, you couldn't help but like, really. The left-hand red of the two, and that is just beautiful, isn't it? You've got to get the bite on it, isn't it?
The cue ball just floated towards the red. As Neil said, it's a real snooker player's appreciation shot there.
I was late to the party. I didn't see Neil Robertson at the start of the week, earning himself the place here in the semi-final. He has looked good this week, though, from what I understand.
Yeah, he's looked sharp. His long game looks good. Tonight, he's not missed much. I mean, his pot success is 93%. Ronnie's is 91%, so he's not missed a lot. So it's a very high quality match.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's fresher than some. He didn't play in the World Open because, as we all know, he went to the wrong venue, the wrong Barnsley, found a Barnsley that wasn't the right one, and his whole season was a bit, he had to pull out of a match 3-1 down, feeling off colour as well in China, so his season's never really got started, but it means he comes in quite fresh, I think.
There he is, just having a bite to eat. Well, of course, the tables are next door. People are all having their dinner there. Why wouldn't he join in? But just taking a few balls just to keep himself loose, I imagine, before they come back for the conclusion of this one. He talked about the pace of the match and how he likes to play. He likes to play sort of 20 seconds a shot. He's just a bit slower than that tonight. And Ronnie's definitely slower than he has been.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to know what Ronnie's mindset was coming into this match, whether he was deliberately going to play a little bit slower. He certainly looks a different animal around the table. His body language is different to last night. Everything was just hyper speed last night. His cue action, his movement around the table, the speed, and tonight's definitely a lot more measured.
Yeah, I think so. He's very focused, Ronnie. Occasionally things in the audience are distracting him, and I'll be honest, I couldn't see anything wrong. A couple of times he looked up at people, and I think when he left, he was quite pumped up at 2-2. What Neil Robertson's got to remember, and well, not remember, what's going to be in the back of his mind, the last 3 times he's played Ronnie inside the last few months, he's been very competitive in all 3 matches, but he's lost them all. At the moment he's competitive in this one, but he has to beat O'Sullivan really quite soon, I think.
We'll leave it there for the moment, because after the break we'll have the conclusion of our first semi-final, a best of 7 frames to see who will make Sunday's final.
Back to the table, your referee Paul Collier and your players Neil Robertson and Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Neil Robertson and Ronnie O'Sullivan resume at 2-all then in this race to 6 in this Champion of Champions semi-final.
Okay. The 5th frame. Neil Robertson to break.
Ronnie O'Sullivan said something yesterday about reduced intensity, but there's been nothing wrong with his intensity tonight. He's looked really up for it, really determined and prepared to wait for his chances, in contrast to yesterday when he couldn't play quickly enough, 13 seconds a shot. And to play to the standard he did at that sort of pace was truly amazing. Neil Robertson more circumspect in his approach, and although John Higgins was sucked into playing perhaps faster than he usually does, Robertson has shown no signs of making the same mistake. He's playing at his own pace.
Neil eyeing up 3-ball plant here below the pink. And you see, looks pretty lined up to that right-hand side of the pocket. Yep. Able to hold for the pink one to the left middle pocket.
Robertson won 3 titles last season in Riga, Cardiff and Beijing. He's up to 4th in the world rankings.
7. Eight.
A little bit more angle on this black than that's comfortable. He'd love to just stun for the red that's nicked to the right, the black to the same pocket, but he's got to do a little bit with the cue ball here. He's played it well though. Put it very well actually. Very
15.
aggressive shot. Didn't have to go into the bunch there.
$16.
Be interested to see, Clive, if Neil goes ahead maybe 2 frames, if Ronnie switches to the form of last night, the speed, to try and intimidate Neil a bit more, try and put him off his guard, because he definitely affected John last night with the speed that he played, the game that he
23.
played, everything about him was completely, you know, almost like exhibition-like.
24.
Well, I'd have said before O'Sullivan came on the scene that it was impossible to play as well as O'Sullivan did last night at 13 seconds a shot. But there's no sign tonight that
31.
Robertson has been sucked into playing at O'Sullivan's pace.
No, I said at the
32.
top of the show it was very important for Neil just to play his own game. And obviously he's been world champion, world #1, he's #4 in the world. There's no way he's not going to be up for a match like this and be able to compete. But yeah, it's just the thing with playing Ronnie, you've got to ignore the circus that comes with it and just stick to your own game.
$39. $40.
Lovely angle in the blue. If he should wish to go into the bunch again, he's just looking. If he hits the pink and errs on the right hand side of the table as we look, if he goes to the left hand side of the pink, he can lose the cue ball, maybe even going off in the left corner pocket. That's quite a big target. There you see, and on the right hand side, perfectly played.
45.
It was the time to go into the bunch, even though there was a potable red on both edges of the pack.
$46. $53.
This is a chance for Robertson to go into the lead for the first time.
54.
And this is the only way you can put pressure on Ronnie O'Sullivan.
61.
Missed his long pot effort by a long way, left the plant,
62.
and Neil is punishing him with a frame winning break. If you were to take 2 or 3 opportunities to get the frame won, okay, you've won the frame, but it wouldn't really put that pressure
69.
on the opponent. This is how you do it, winning frames in one visit.
Which he already has, barring sneakers. Not that O'Sullivan's going to get any chance to play for them.
Sure. 76.
O'Sullivan will recognise that this frame has gone. The only question which remains is, will
77.
Robertson go on to make a century? His career total is 659, and he's the only player to make a century of centuries in one season, 103 in 2013-14.
$84. 85.
Robertson wants to clear up, to leave O'Sullivan stewing in his chair.
$92. 93.
Robertson's made good use of his opportunities this evening. He cleared up with 42
99.
in the second frame after O'Sullivan looked like winning it, and luckily found the point into the middle pocket in potting a black. The Australian number one made a break of 62 to lead 2-1.
108.
Lost the fourth to O'Sullivan's 81.
Neil Robertson, 108 in the frame.
With a century. Break of 108. Neil Robertson leads Ronnie O'Sullivan by 3 frames to 2. There's a capacity crowd with this Champion of Champions semi-final, in which Neil Robertson has just taken
frame
the lead
6
for the first
Ronnie
time
O'Sullivan
at 3-2.
I was looking at Neil Robertson in his chair in between frames, and he just looks serene. He looks so calm, so relaxed, so focused. Got very close.
The red wobbles and stays out, thus provoking shouts of "Come on, Ronnie" from the 5 times world champions supporters. That was shorter range, and O'Sullivan will be disappointed to have missed it.
That's exactly what I meant, though. He's under pressure because Neil is playing so well, winning frames in one visit. I mean, another frame-winning break here would really put his opponent on the back foot. Really interesting to see Ronnie O'Sullivan's reaction should Neil do so.
Both players will relish playing in front of a full house. They did so in Hong Kong 2 or 3 years ago. They played in front of a crowd of 3,000. The Queen Elizabeth stadium in Hong Kong, and Robertson won that match 6-3.
Six. Seven.
Neil Robertson will know that this is time to make hay where the sun shines, as it were. As a player, you know when you've got your opponent a little bit, you know, in the defense on the back foot. It's time to put that little bit of extra effort, that extra little ounce of concentration, focus.
12.
Really hammer home your advantage.
Sure. 13. $20. 21.
Overscrewed a fraction. He's left this black awkward now.
That's exactly what I meant. That's careless. Got to really keep your concentration as tight as a drum. It's probably a little bit of adrenaline, because he'll know the importance of this visit. His opponent's missed a couple. I had to get up because someone decided to leave the arena in the middle of a frame.
Robertson keeps the break going, but he hasn't got his desired position.
28.
Another excellent pot, keeps the break afloat.
You can get into the reds from the blue. As a thinner contact than would be ideal. The full ball into the pink here, which he has done. Hit them absolutely plumb. Brilliant shot.
If he hadn't
34.
made his full ball contact, cue ball could quite easily have slid down towards one of the corner pockets. As it is, he has a clear opportunity to make this a frame-winning break.
$42. 43.
He overruns his intended position.
47.
Or maybe he underran for the red to the left of the black.
Yeah, he'd be furious inside. As soon as he opened the pack 2 or 3 shots ago, he would be thinking, that's 4-2. As it is, they play a good safety shot. That cue ball as tight as possible to that ball cushion.
Neil Robertson, 47.
It's okay. Obviously the pink, the right hand side cushion is the one to avoid, but Ronnie O'Sullivan never ever plays a safety shot playing ball, so he kind of took that equation out of it because he was playing it with run inside. Brilliant shot. Very similar to the late great Alex Higgins, who used to never play a plain ball shot either when it came to safety.
All remaining reds are in potable positions. So out of the snooker.
Foul. And a miss.
Robertson was hoping to leave everything safe.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4. Yeah. Okay, Ronnie. Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4. Back.
Plenty of reds to hit, but how do you come out safe from this?
Okay, Ronnie. Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Tried to clip off the red to the right of the pink spot.
Okay, Ronnie.
Very good to get the necessary thin contact. Thick contact, and he might well have cannoned another ball.
Very unfortunate.
1.
He needed to get the pot, obviously. It was a great pot. If he missed it, it was frame over.
Green ball.
He knew position wasn't guaranteed.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1. Neil Robertson, 4. Back. Okay, Neil. Green ball. Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 4. Back.
O'Sullivan snookering himself. It's the second significant slice of bad luck he's had tonight. The other came in the second frame when he cannoned the pink in, popping the black. And Robertson cleared up from behind to win the frame.
The first time Ronnie missed this snooker, I'm surprised Neil never had a look at the situation, because it wasn't the easiest safety shot in the world, and now this is a tricky shot that Neil's got here. He's played it well though. Played it very well.
Well, I don't think O'Sullivan expected the red to come through the other reds and finish so near the right corner. But he may have got away with it. He has, bar a swerve. Robertson has had 60% of the play. I think that percentage is going to be adjusted now. Good chance of a counter-attack for O'Sullivan.
One.
Yeah, there's that poor positional shot early on when Neil was in. Going to come back to haunt him. Very few, if any, players better in the game than clearing up when they're 40, 50 behind.
8.
Ronnie, possibly John Higgins, down the years have been the most reliable.
9.
And he's not happy with that shot. He's hampered here with the red beside that cushion. Don't expect him to miss this black, but it is missable now. It only meant it couldn't be as close to the next red. Just had to make sure the
16.
pot.
17. 24. 25.
May try to take the red off the cushion that's closest to the pink here. Didn't quite have the angle, obviously. And he's
32.
best shot there. He's a little bit awkward on both reds. This red is thinner than it looks on the screen.
Tried to move the red that time, knowing that he was going to have a shot at
40.
the other one. He didn't make contact.
So, 41.
Sounded a slightly heavy contact, that.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Clive. It definitely was. That's the reason he's low on the black. So this red is anything but easy. Big shot. You'd think this would be frame ball.
48.
Should it go in?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 48.
Not easy, but I didn't think O'Sullivan would miss it. So we have the evening's first battle on the colours.
That was a poor shot. Neil Robertson played. He just lost the cue ball completely. Cue ball should never have been in the middle of the table there. Good pot. O'Sullivan needs another one here. Oh, floated it in. Absolutely floated it in. Beautiful.
6.
He knew that he was almost certainly going to lose the frame. He missed that, but he played it quite fearlessly.
$11. 15.
It's going to be 3-all.
$20. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 20 on the front.
Position at the end of his 37 break, and also played a poor safety to let O'Sullivan in for that clearance. It's 3-all.
Yeah.
It's 3-all.
Okay, Neil.
Level with 5 to play.
Frame 7. Neil Robertson to break.
That was funny there. Ronnie came to the table. I actually thought it was his break. Is that a sign of not good concentration, Clive?
I don't know. Not serious anyway.
Don't think
One.
he's on the pink. Or is he? He's lining up the next red. That was a nice little run of the balls there.
Seven. Eight. 13. 14. 21. 22. 29.
O'Sullivan finishes unexpectedly low on his next red. He was intending to pop one to left corner. And he's still going.
30. $32. 33. $40. $41.
Robertson was in the driving seat in the last frame, but didn't drive home his advantage. But there he misses a pretty wide target. He fails to open the bunch.
45. Sullivan 45.
Lovely, delicate little shot around the snooker.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
The cue ball is so tight to the black that Robertson may not be able to play into the main bunch via one cushion. Not playing ball anyway. Didn't intend the red to cannon the brown, but he's got the cue ball just exactly where he wanted to get it. What a pot. One. It was the only ball he could leave, but nevertheless.
Yeah, that putt was beautiful, wasn't it? As you said, there was an element of safety where he was leaving the cue ball, but
8.
it still required premium cueing.
Nine.
Nice angle on the black. Just doesn't have to play it with too much pace. Just to open those 5 reds up and leave himself on the open red to the left corner. Need a lot of power in that. 3 of the remaining reds will go.
16.
Obviously the 2 reds touching the pink will need possibly moving if he gets that far. It's just where it's landed, just stopped him in his tracks. I mean, he's going to have to get all sorts of furniture out to play this, I think.
Yeah.
Span rest.
17.
Robertson scored first with 47 in the last frame and lost it.
24.
He was 0-45 in this frame and could win it.
$25. $30. $31.
Not sure of the two reds next to the pink. Pretty close to being a plant to either this left corner or the right middle. May be able just to brush off the one here and playing this red.
38.
Send the cue ball up for the blue. Just tickle this red on the way past.
39.
Needs to do a little bit of work, the cue ball. Probably play off the bulk cushion with left-hand side, to come off the left-hand side cushion. Down the table for a choice of the two reds to the right corner. So run inside, left-hand side, two cushions.
Played it well.
44. $45.
No just cause or impediment to winning this frame now.
$52. $53. $60.
Golden chance to go a frame ahead for the third time.
62.
A little bit further away from the green than he would have liked. He still needs the brown. Brown is potable to the right middle. He just wants to get right behind it. No. Oh, I thought he missed the green.
65.
When he first hit it, I thought he slightly decelerated and had it thin.
69.
Tremendous break though, start with that incredible opening red.
74.
Yes,
80.
Robertson capitalised on that. He goes ahead the third time.
87 on the frame
He
near
got
Robertson.
87 clearance and leads by 4 frames to 3 within 2 frames of the winning post. For a 4-3
The 8th
lead.
frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
As ever, O'Sullivan breaking off left-handed. He once said that he could get more side on playing left-handed and thus play break off to behind the green on the baulk cushion with some regularity, but that wasn't the Great British break off.
Well, he's eyeing this pot up. Finish on the black, hopefully. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Doesn't get better than that.
Eight. Nine. 16.
Oh, don't tell me he's not in the red. Doesn't look like it. Any thoughts that this crowd might have been thinking about the magic 147 have now disappeared?
17.
For that opening red.
O'Sullivan has made 15 147s in competition.
22.
But he's not incentivised by bonus prizes for a maximum
23.
that there used to be of old. In fact, there's not even a highest break prize in this event.
I was going to say, Clive, good job, because there isn't one. A little bit short again. I think the cushions
30.
has been recovered, this table, for the semi-final. The cushions are playing a little bit slower than they were
31.
previously. Both players have been caught out a couple of times tonight. Ronnie made shorter work of that shot there, though. But again, played for this red to left middle.
38.
Might have to play it up to the yellow pocket now. No, still going to the middle.
49.
It just seems to be punch, counter punch in this match at the moment.
44. 45. 50.
I should say actually that for the maximums, apparently if 20 players make maximums this season, they share £1 million.
51.
Yes, but the record for the number of maximums in a season is only 13, so
58.
they're going to have to go some.
59.
Say not 20 players make maximums, just 20 maximums, isn't it, Clive? If someone makes more than one, obviously they get a bigger share of the pot.
That's it. Tom Ford has already made 2.
65. 66.
Meanwhile, this is frame ball. Uncharacteristic
73.
loss of position when it looked plain sailing for the century. He just wants to pot this red just to stop his opponent coming back to the table. It's there.
74.
So the previous frame, Neil Robertson made a frame-winning break from a beautiful long pot red, and Ronnie O'Sullivan has matched it. Top quality snooker at the moment.
77. 78.
Last night against John Higgins, there was a century that O'Sullivan could have made, but in his eagerness to get on to the next frame, he played a foul deliberately.
85. 86.
Again, surprisingly, O'Sullivan overruns his position.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 86
The
on the
rest of the
frame.
break did not come to middle, but the 86 break does the job. It's 4-all, level with 3 to play.
Thanks, Neil. The 9th frame. Neil Robertson to break.
There's never been more than a frame in it between these two players as the score has moved on to 4-all. Robertson has 3 times been the odd frame in front, but 4-3 to him became 4-all through O'Sullivan's break of 86. Tough shot, having to strike downwards, but he didn't back off from it.
Yeah, it seems to be the long shots that he's missing is the ones where he has to put a bit more power into. Those are the ones that he's not getting consistently. The ones where he's just stroking them in are not really a problem. But that's left Neil great opportunity.
1.
So Robertson first in from O'Sullivan's wayward attempt to long pot. Pink won't go on its own spot, so it's got to be delicately replaced
7.
as near to its own spot as possible in a straight line over the middle spots.
8.
As near as possible, but without touching the nearest ball.
Just play a little gentle can in the 2 reds. Or the red to the left of the pink, I should say.
$15. 16.
Chance again to go into the bunch. He's just, you can see the 2 reds at the left of the bunch. They're just pointing going towards that left middle. He was just checking they're not lined up. When he goes into the bunch, he doesn't knock one in. And you can see it's on its way. It's close. Just a little bit low in the cue ball, closer to this
23.
cushion than he would like. That looks a natural angle. So just concentrate on the pot. You can get out for the blue, no problem.
$24.
Still playing from very near the side cushion though, which limits the range of spins he can employ for positional reasons. Didn't need any spin as it happened.
29.
He just played the natural angle. But I believe could have done with finishing a little straighter on the back red. Playing it gently like that, he was able to go through black without touching the pink.
$37. Neil Robertson, 37.
Not easy, because I fancied him to get it.
One.
Into the bunch here. Try and get in between the little gap of the first two reds. Try and hit them both at the same time. No, he's hit it lovely. Okay, maybe not as much pace as I thought he might. That's end of break.
6. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6.
This red to left corner looks as if it could be a natural for Robertson to take the cue ball round behind the back of the black. Back down the table for his colour. But all it's done is given O'Sullivan a chance for a counter-attack.
One.
Well, it's a huge target to hit the bunch off one cushion. I wonder if he'll take the opportunity. The only thing that would stop him doing it is he doesn't want to block the black up. He doesn't want to knock the black onto the cushion. But yeah, it's such a good angle, such a big target, and I cannot believe he's missed it. Okay, he's on the red. But for Ronnie O'Sullivan, that was a poor shot, and he knows it.
5.
And he'll be even more disgusted to see where the black's gone.
6.
Yes, that was quite an important mistake, it seems to me.
And then perfect this time. One red, possibly to left middle.
9.
He'd be delighted if the pink pot's to the right corner. So the black being on the cushion doesn't matter now.
$16. 17. $23. 24.
Nice. Average shot time is coming down. As we said last night, at one point it was 12 seconds a shot against John Higgins. At the start of this match he was up at 19. Obviously the more
30.
times he's at the table making breaks, that's obviously when the play is going to be a lot quicker. And the reason Ronnie O'Sullivan's shot time is so
31.
low is because usually his position is so pinpoint, he doesn't have to think about anything, he doesn't have to walk around the table. He just automatically falls into perfect position. Beautiful. Struck that beautifully.
33. $34.
One difficult red remains.
39.
Slap bang in the middle of the black cushion.
40.
That was a good shot on the red. And a slight grimace. I don't think he expected to leave that red as difficult as he did the previous shot.
46.
It was a tricky red with Sullivan achieved best possible position on it. Only to miss the pink with the frame at his mercy.
47.
I don't know exactly what Ronnie O'Sullivan was doing with the cue ball with that pink, because all it was a matter of stunning the cue ball just past the left middle pocket for the yellow to the green pocket. And you can see he doesn't have to play it like this. He's actually playing it off two cushions, almost like an exhibition shot. He's been fortunate. I don't think he's left a pot on, but he's going to be glued to the pink ball. Yellow sent up the table. Is he taking this yellow on the way he's cueing? Oh, good shot.
2.
So Robertson needs to clear the colours to take a 5-4 lead. And the black is very unpromisingly placed. Even if Robertson is a left-hander.
Neil Robertson 2.
And he doesn't get that far. Green to middle eludes him. Half ball, trying to hold the cue ball, overcut it.
Well, again, Sullivan playing a very aggressive shot, trying to back double the green to the right middle pocket, and once again he's got away with it.
Every chance of a snooker there, with a combination of pink and blue. Needed to hit it at the second cushion to keep the balls at different ends of the table.
Well, it was a wonderful hit, but obviously the second part of the shot wasn't played. Very good shot, a very brave shot as well. at this stage. It's easy to hit the green from the baulk cushion. That was also a brilliant shot.
So who is going to go 1 up with 2 to play?
Be quite nice to see a black ball game at this stage, Clive, wouldn't it? 4-4.
Oh, we like to see breaks. We also like to see drama.
Neil coming round to look at the potting angle, so obviously can easily get past the pink. If anything, he'd err on the side of maybe missing this thin. Yeah, lovely pot. Now, how's the angle in the brown? To the right middle.
3.
It's fine. Oh, there's pressure on this.
Beautifully clipped in.
Seven.
Robertson still needs the 3 remaining colours.
Yeah, leave the cue ball somewhere around where the blue is, because then he can swing it off 2 cushions. The black is good for a left-hander. It's on the right cushion.
12.
So just swing this and get the cue ball pretty close to that green pocket.
The black's good for a left-hander if he can get best possible position.
So bottom right hand side. He's lost the cue ball, I think. Needs it to slow up.
18.
He won't be taking this on. Just didn't quite get low enough in the cue ball. That's why there's too much pace on it. Well, we've got our black ball game.
Which will decide who leads 5-4 in a race to 6.
Neil Robertson, 18.
Yeah, we've seen Ronnie Sullivan take on a few shots this week. Is he going to take this black on to the yellow pocket?
Well, it wasn't the percentage shot, but it's run safe.
Yeah, played it with an element of safety. I thought he might have just floated it in. He played a blue earlier on in this match for position on the yellow, where he just literally gave it enough pace to reach the pocket. I thought he was going to just put all his eggs in one basket and just play it 100%, but he's trying to screw the cue ball back for a little bit of safety. I was thinking a black ball game, if you decide to go for the pot, go all out for it 100%, forget about the cue ball.
Robertson wanted that under the right-hand side cushion. O'Sullivan who calmly prevails in a black ball finish. And he leads by 5 frames to draw. He needs one of the remaining 2 frames to reach the final.
So, the last frame ended in a black ball game, and as I said, when Ronnie's over-hitting shots, he's not getting the long pots, but you see there, just floated it in at a lovely pace. And he's got the advantage now. 2 bites
Frame
of the
10.
cherry to get into the final.
O'Sullivan to break.
Good length break-off shot.
I think for whoever the neutrals are watching this, I think they would love it to go to a decider. Obviously the majority of fans are supporting Ronnie O'Sullivan. They'll want him to win this as soon as possible, but for everyone else, I think we'd all love to see this match go all the way.
Robertson does not like this. And one of the reasons he didn't like it was that he was leaving an easy red for sure if the one that he attempted didn't go in.
Beautiful shot under pressure. He felt the pot was as difficult as a safety shot, so chose the attacking route and was actually quietly applauded by his opponent. He knew the quality.
8. White, yeah. Nine.
Robertson won one of the earlier frames with a brilliant initial pot and an 80-odd break from it. Could this be a repeat performance?
15. 16. Sure. 22.
It's hard to see what's going to stop Neil not scoring 40 or 50 points without having to do anything drastic. The only thing you would think would stop it would be the pressure of the moment in this match. Nothing's easy, really. But this is why these are the best players in the game.
23.
You still expect them to produce under this intense pressure. That's what they're supposed to do.
The best players have the sort of self-image whereby they can see themselves doing what they want to do. The lesser mortals may want to do it and think they got a chance of doing it, but they're not. They lack that
30.
deep sense of conviction that they're going to do it.
31. $38.
Is he on the back red? It's tight. Just about. I think.
$39. $46. $47. $54. $55.
Didn't quite have
62.
I'd like to have a little bit of right hand side on the cue ball there, just to take it further up towards the bulk end of the table. It's just off straight with this red. You want it to play for the black, but can't do. Certainly with this red we see in the middle of the table. Only needs a couple more reds to take us to that decider. I think the screw shot's the right shot. At least you're guaranteed being on some sort of colour. That's the blue.
63.
If he risked falling through off a cannon of the red and falling through for the black, it could have gone wrong. So one good positional shot to play. Oh dear.
Well, shouldn't have been cannoning the yellow.
68.
But it's all caused by that 2 shots ago on the black, screwing back for the red. He played a poor shot, didn't get on the red properly, and this is a consequence. Nothing safe on the table either. Oh, that's wonderful. It really is. Just phenomenal long potting.
69.
Well, not just the quality of the shot, but the mental quality. He knew that he should have had an easy ball to clinch the frame, but played a poor positional shot and had to pull out a really
71.
fine long pot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's another
72.
thing you have to have at the top level of, well, not just snooker, any sport, is temperament, big match temperament. And that was it there. Completely just erased it from his memory, the disappointment of Cannon in the yellow. Ronnie O'Sullivan
79.
maybe getting himself ready for that decider.
80.
Robertson in
86.
pursuit of his second century of the match, following the 108, which put him 3-2 up.
Yeah, I'm already thinking ahead to the
87.
decider. It's Neil's break off. He'll want a good one. He won't want to leave a red out for Ronnie O'Sullivan. But this is top drawer.
94. 95. 100.
Timely 100.
$101.
So it looks as if it's going to be a total clearance. All 15 reds with colours,
108.
and then the colours in sequence.
110. 113. 117.
Clearance of
122.
135 would be the highest break of the tournament, but it won't claim the break prize because there isn't one.
$128. Yeah, Robertson.
A wonderful and
135
timely
in the frame.
total clearance of 135 enables Neil Robertson to level the match at 5-all and leave everything on the 11th frame decider. So the result depends on frame 11.
Okay.
I suspect, Stephen, that when you were into a deciding frame, you had
Yeah,
one
Robertson
thought
for
in
break.
your head: just give me one chance.
Yep, you're absolutely right. You just want that one opportunity to win the frame. If you do and you don't take it, then it's your fault. But that's what both players will be thinking. Just give me one chance. And as I mentioned in the last frame, Neil Robertson needed a good break off. Well, Ronnie's taking this red on. He'll be on the black should he get it. Well, fortunately, he missed it by so far that he got the cue ball safe. But that red going up to the bulk end of the table will just make this little safety exchange a bit awkward now.
safety from that red, clears the black and makes it potable into at least one corner. Well, I don't know whether O'Sullivan thought that he got two chances there. Pot the red direct to top left corner, or pot it in off the other red, adjacent to the pocket. Either way, he's not been successful.
Yeah, it's been the pattern this week, isn't it, with Ronnie? He's tried to pot his way out of trouble.
One.
I certainly can't criticise him. That was my go-to method when I went under pressure. But first opportunity goes to his opponent, and in a deciding frame, when you give your opponent a chance, you're always in your chair thinking, that's it. I've done it. I've lost the match. It's really hard to stay positive in your chair. A little bit short and pace though there.
6.
Leaving a slightly tricky cut back when it should have been much more straightforward.
Seven.
No trouble at all though to the Australian #1. The best player by far that Australia has ever produced.
It's a lovely pack of reds to go into from the black. He's not got nicely on this red though. If I was going to go into the pack from the black, I'd rather have the cue ball at the left-hand side of the table as we look. He's going to have to try and drop on it to the right corner. But he's left this awkward for a left-hander. That red on the baulk line. Don't see how he's going to be able to play this shot. He's not going to be able to get down to the shot properly unless he puts the extension on the cue. I don't like this. Yeah, the extension's going on to try and give himself a bit more room.
Yes, the extension gives him the chance to start further back, as it were. But it was still tricky.
Neil Robertson, 9.
Yeah, the poor shot was the positional shot to get onto the red. He should have been pretty much straight on that red to the left corner.
One.
Excellent long red from O'Sullivan.
I think he's on the brown. Straight into the pack of reds here. This comes off, could be the game shot. Very surprised he refused that. But as I said, they are a good bunch of reds to go into from the black, so if he gets level with the black here, got a great opportunity. That's perfect.
6.
The middle red in between the black and pink, that's the one he wants to hit.
What a time for a miscue.
I don't think I've ever seen Ronnie O'Sullivan miscue.
Amazing. Don't think he's done any great damage to his tip though, and he's been lucky enough to leave everything safe. Apart from the speculative double.
Well, Neil looks bemused.
Quietly, please.
The angle, must be the angle the red came off the cushion. I don't think he was expecting it to go anywhere near the pocket. He had the snooker anyway.
Neil Robertson 1.
He's played the snooker, but I shouldn't think he'll get an advantage from it. I think I'd have much rather played a shot where, you know, you're forcing Ronnie to play a shot off the bunch from tight under the baulk cushion. Then, should Ronnie have hit the pack thick, it would have perhaps given Neil an opportunity. Snooker was a bit of a nothing shot there.
Possible red, either to right middle or top right corner. Turned down as too difficult and too risky in favour of excellent safety.
Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson 4.
Not crucial, but an unnecessary 4 away.
Can you stop the chatting up there, please, guys? One.
Couldn't get plumb on a colour. But Robertson trusted his cotton.
That's when the hours and hours of practice comes into
6.
its own there. It's a sort of shot in the straight blues to corner pockets that players spend hours practicing, all for moments like that. You can rely
7.
on it, rely on your technique under pressure.
So maybe O'Sullivan's unnecessary 4 away may prove more significant than I originally thought.
13.
I was just about to say this could be, that red could be the important shot in this frame and match. If Neil could have got nicely top side of the blue. He may have the slightest of angles, so lots of top spin. Touch your right hand side off this right cushion and try and release even just a couple of reds, just to keep the break going. Wonderful effort. Yeah, it's just there's a couple of reds just in the open. Maybe another one at the top of the pack.
19.
Yeah, I think that red is closest to the
20.
pink spot, pots to left middle, possibly right corner as well. He could decide to go into the 5 reds here off the pink. I might be against it myself, because I think if you get on that red that's at the top of the bunch, there's every chance you can open the reds. I think this is a risk. I think that was a risk. Has it paid off?
$26.
Well, even if the left-hand red is potable to left corner, it's very tough queuing.
I think the way Neil hits the ball, I think I'd rather be taking the one that's closest to the blue, to the yellow pocket.
Struggled it in.
Yeah, nicely in the pink. That could be the winning shot.
When O'Sullivan failed to reach the bunch when he was snookered, it appeared that that was not a serious mistake. But Robertson is making it into one.
He's just having a look, the red to the right, the pink. He's got to cannon that, he can't avoid it. And he's just taking extra care. Don't take your eye off the pot. Not as played.
33.
So if it's red to left middle, you just got to avoid any unwanted cannons on those 3 colours that are in the bulk end of the table, yellow, brown and black.
$34.
Still not out of the woods yet. He's making it difficult. I thought when he put that awkward red and landed on the pink that it was virtually match over, but he needs another good positional shot here. Just avoid the brown. And the green. Didn't even see the green being a problem. How has he got to this stage from where he was 2 shots ago?
.44 in front, but far from over the line.
If I look back a few shots when he was playing that pink with the rest of cannon already, if anything, he probably just thought too much into it. It wasn't that difficult a shot. But there's obviously massive pressure out there. But if he's taking this red on, this is... what a tough shot this is. That's magnificent. It really is.
47.
Under pressure, that was some pot.
And again, applauded by his opponent. Ronnie tapped his thigh with his hand with that shot. As a snooker player, you knew how tough that shot was. Slowly across the table, dropping it in dead weight. One more pot required.
.51 in front, with only 51 on the table.
43.
And that red surely seals O'Sullivan's fate. It's been a fine match. Both players have played to a very high standard. Robertson's made a couple of centuries, but that was incidental.
50.
Yeah, you definitely would have thought when Ronnie went 5-4 up, he'd at least have one good chance to win the match. It didn't come. Didn't really get an opportunity to win this match. A good opportunity anyway.
57. 58.
Robertson made a total clearance of 135 to equalise at 5-all.
63. 65.
And he's on the way to another big clearance to clinch the victory.
68.
72.
72.
Won the Champion of Champions title once. He'll have his chance to win it again
77.
on Sunday when he plays either Mark Allen or Judd Trump in the final. It's turning into a bit of a benefit for left-handers this tournament. So, with a clearance of 90, Neil Robertson completes a fine victory. He beats Ronnie O'Sullivan by 6 frames to 5.
You worked hard for that one tonight. How pleased are you to be over the line?
Yeah, very pleased. I think both players played to a fantastic level, and the crowd really enjoyed it. So yeah, I think definitely one of the best matches I've ever been involved in. I mean, 6-5 is, to withstand the sort of pressure that Ronnie put me under. He was very aggressive. I think maybe not quite the same he was with John. He was more controlled, but some of the balls he went for that would do all or nothing, and they went in and he won the frames off them, kept me under a lot of pressure, and I just had to respond back by being my aggressive self as well.
Which you were. I mean, you scored highly right the way through the match, 95% pot success, and we'll look at shots.
6-5, 95%. It's usually enough to beat someone 6-1, 6-0.
Well, listen, we'll look at some of the shots in a minute, but I do think it's worth mentioning that 135 break, because you really had to dig in to it was one of those breaks where you worked very hard to get
it was
get
the
there.
Score. Was like 5-4? I was 5-4, yeah. The red was it's like just off the cushion. It's a horrible shot. I felt as though I was going to get a double kiss if I were to try and play safe off it. There was no shot. I thought maybe deep screw back to bulk, but you never really. I'm certain I'm going to leave him some kind of pot. So I just thought, just go for it. It's been that type of match where both players sort of threw everything at each other. So if I was going to lose the match, it was going to be through an aggressive shot.
And then that meant, of course, we had the deciding frame, so let's have a look at it.
Yeah, we're going to have that. Ronnie had a miscue. I don't know if we're going to see that, but this is the decider, and this is a brave shot because it's in or over if you miss it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, at this stage of the match, it's 5-all. I'm just thinking, just try and get the win, play positive. The next shot, I actually left myself more hampered than what I realised. But I mean, this was a shot where just all or nothing. Just go for it. I knock them in all the time in practice. Very high percentage shot for me.
You just about got top side there, didn't you?
It was the table's playing a lot different to Monday. It was a lot more grippy off the cushions, and a few times I fell a little bit short. But I had just enough angle to create an opening there.
I thought was left jaw. I wasn't entirely sure, but you were confident it was in this one.
Yeah, I mean, when it was going towards the pocket, I was thinking just stay straight, don't pull to the right. But then I played a couple of...
You played
a dodgy shot there. I developed the green for him, but then that was actually really similar to the red Peter Ebden knocked in at 16-inch against Marco Fu in the semi-finals, that drifting across the table. But if I pot it, I win the match.
The way you are then, you can understand why you're so pleased. You've lost the last 3 really competitive games, twice in the Coral Series, and in Shanghai. It was your turn to win, I think.
Yeah, I think he's had the better of me in the last sort of 4, maybe even 5 meetings. But a few of them I've competed well, and I've actually played well. And I think on any other day I probably would have beaten anybody else. So sometimes it goes like that. But when you get your chance in a match like this, you have to take it.
Yeah. Well, listen, Neil, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you in the final on Sunday. We'll look ahead to the second semi-final after the break, because we'll discover whether Neil will be playing Mark Allen or the world champion, Judd Trump.